just a little more ground. Bound to cover just a little more ground. The wheel is turning and you can't slow it down. Can't let go and you can't hold on. Can't go back and you can't stand still. The thunder don't get you, then the lightning will. Won't you try just a little bit harder? Couldn't you try just a little bit more? Won't you try just a little bit harder? Couldn't you try just a little bit more?
Hey, look at that. I don't have my headphones on. I'm going to have to put them on. If I could just find them. Huh. Happy Wednesday night. I'm so happy it's Wednesday. As you know, it's one of my favorite nights of the week. And Weird's Day. Kind of weird that Bob has his own little Weird's Day going on. I was here first, Bob. He got it from me. And so yeah, we got our Weird's Day happening today, and this is going to be this will probably be the best show yet of the 15 weeks. And boy, at all that time I was sitting there just waiting. Those are all things I needed to do, like put headphones on. But while I was sitting there, I got to see some people coming on. And I don't mean to neglect the people that are here every night, because I love you and I appreciate it, but I always get a little surprised when some old friends and people I haven't seen from a long time ago. I saw my buddy Peter once again coming on joining the show. And thanks, Peter. Love you. Hope all's well out there in Vail, Colorado. How could it not be? It's heaven on earth. I don't know why I left there, like the grass is always greener, as they say. But this has been one of the truly remarkable and amazing and gratifying things about this show, and I certainly am grateful for it, is that all these old friends and that I haven't seen for years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and who I probably would not have connected with or seen or had it not been for this show, and I get to spend some time with you, and I'm so glad you're here, and I'm glad you're part of it, and so glad to see you, and that's so much fun. Even sort of my family who don't generally come to my gigs. If I get a chance to spend some time with what I do and play some music. So this is going to be a great show. This is the Grateful News Hour, and I'm going to get started. In just a second. Left my home in Norfolk, Virginia, California on my mind. Straddled that Greyhound bus across Raleigh and on across Caroline. Stopped in Charlotte at 5 past to Rockville, and we never was a minute late. 90 miles out of Atlanta by sundown, rolling across Georgia State. Had some load of trouble, it turned into a struggle out way across Alabama. And the hound broke down and left us all stranded in downtown Birmingham. Straight off, I bought me a dirt train ticket, riding across the be clean. I was on that midnight flyer out of Birmingham, smoking into New Orleans. Somebody help me get out of Louisiana, now help me get to Houston town. There's folks out there who care a thing about me, they won't let a poor boy down. Sure as you're born, they bought me a silk suit, put luggage in my hand. And I woke up high over Albuquerque on a jet to the promised land. T-bone steak a la carte, we're flying over to the Golden State. The pilot told us in 13 minutes we'd be headed for the terminal gate. So no chariot, come down easy, taxi to the terminal zone. Cut your engines and cool your wings and let me make it to the telephone. Los Angeles, give me Norfolk, Virginia, Tidewater for 1009. Tell the folks back home this is a promised land, calling the poor boys on the line. things were not set correctly. Not only did I not have my headphones on, and something else, I did not have these set correctly. That was a little rough. And I kept, check. I kept looking for a way to end that one. I had to go around again. Whoops, no, not that one. I was trying to cut my engines and cool my wings, but I had to keep going around. Finally found a route down there to the end. All right, so I played that special for my friend Jess. And I did that because last week I don't know if I was telling stories out of school or if that's the expression or something. And I was telling a story about how my buddy Sean was out in his shed. Now let me give you some perspective. His shed is bigger than my house. Had a bathroom, pool table, full stereo, refrigerator. So, you know, he wasn't pounding nails or something. But he was out in his shed, and somehow I got hooked up into this phone conversation between Jess and him, who was calling from the house on their cell phones. But somehow I woke up on a Sunday morning with a 20-minute message on my machine, hearing the two of them go at it. And Jess wasn't happy with Sean that night. Because I guess he didn't want to watch the Stepford Wives. He didn't like the Stepford Wives. So I heard this whole conversation, what are you doing? And he's like, this is my line. Everyone should use this, instead of Napoleon Dynamite, whatever I want, gosh. It's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just going over the day. It's like, well, we were watching the Stepford Wives. He's like, well, I don't like the Stepford Wives. But that's when hell broke loose. But I have to, I have to qualify this. And the reason I'm telling this again is that Jess is one of the most wonderful people I know. I've had so many wonderful times with her, and she is just the best. And in terms of spouses and wives, there's no, well, my wife's pretty, let me take that back. My wife's out there, but Jess is just the very best, and yeah, she wanted to watch Stepford Wives. So that song was for her, and oh, there's the problem. All right, that's number 4. I'm not sure we're going to make it to the best of the best tonight, but I'm going to still try. That's why things were loud. All right. So back when it was Jess's birthday, she requested this, so I thought maybe she would enjoy it again. The rat check if you got nothing new to say, and if you please don't back up the track, well, this train's got to run today. I spent a little time on the mountain, spent a little time on the hill. I heard some say you better run away, but others say you better stand still. Don't know, but I've been told it's hard to run with the weight of gold. On the other hand, I've heard it said it's just as hard with the weight of lead. just a change in style. One step done and another begun, and I wonder how many miles. I spent a little time on a mountain, I spent a little time on a hill. And things went down that we don't understand, but I think in time we will. I don't know, but I've been told in the heat of the sun, man died of cold. And keep on coming, oh stand and wait, with the sun so dark and the hour so late. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to give. You can't overlook the blackjack of any other highway to ride. It's got no signs or dividing lines, and very few rules to guide. I spent a little time on a mountain, spent a little time on a hill, and I saw things getting out of hand. I guess they always will. I don't know, but I've been told, pulls don't pull, you gotta carry the load. And I don't know whose back's that strong, well maybe we'll find out before too long. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to give. one way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to give. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to give. 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 Don't come easy, you know it don't come easy. Got to pay your dues if you wanna sing the blues, and you know it don't come easy. You don't have to shout or leap about, you can even play them easy. Open up your heart, let's come together. Use a little love, it all make it so much better. I don't ask for much, I only want trust, and you know it don't come easy. This love of mine keeps growing all the time, and you know it don't come easy. Please remember, peace is how we make it. Here's within your reach, if you're big enough to take it. Got to pay your dues if you wanna sing the blues, and you know it don't come easy. You don't have to shout or leap about, you can even play them easy. Please remember, peace is how we make it. Here within your reach, if you're big enough to take it. I don't ask for much, want to play the blues, and you know it don't come easy. This love of mine keeps growing all the time, and you know it don't come easy. Open up your heart, let's come together. Just use a little love, All right, so a little Ringo. Peace and love. You know that, he doesn't do autographs anymore. He doesn't respond to letters. Don't write him, he's not going to answer. Not even going to open the envelope. Not even going to look at it. He's not gonna But it was his birthday yesterday, and we kind of missed it with the with the request hour. Although we did get into a little Beatles, but little Ringo, he's got the credit on that song. But there's some controversy about that. Some seem to think that George wrote it and let him gave it to him. There is a demo of George doing the song before Ringo's version, so you have to wonder. All right, so it's the time we've all been waiting for. It is Wednesday, it's Weird's Day, and so last week we got a little bit into Bob's physical comedy, which was top-notch. And again, some of you don't know that he does the musical comedy as well. So here it is.
A 40-year-old waitress to me is worth the same. I see you are a logger and not a common bum. There's no one but a logger serves his coffee with his thumb. My lover was a logger, but not like none today. If you put whiskey on it, he'd keep the bail away. Would you please turn my voice up in the monitors? I can't hear me at all. Neither can he. I mean, I'll move this back, is what I'll do, so that the danger of feedback is somewhat less critical.
So there you got it. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. So I'm just going to share this. I saw this today too. A T-shirt. This is a little bit more about John Mayer. This is a little John Mayer, Bob Weir bromance, but I thought it was funny. There we go. Your Bobby is a wonderland. I want that shirt. All right, so we're gonna dedicate the rest of this night to Bobby. So, those of you who want to tune out, I understand. No, Bobby fans are people too. I found that bumper sticker too. I forgot. I should have put that on. All right, so let's get going. All right, hold on a second. Actually, I'm going to play this song. This really is one of my favorite songs. I think it goes back to the fact that when I first was getting into the dead, after the first show, I had a buddy, John Allegretti, who's on here quite a bit. One of those people that all of a sudden I reconnected with after all this time. But boy, we were show buddies for a long time. But anyways, he made my first ever Dead tapes. I had 2 tapes. One was, believe it or not, Atlanta 77, which is where the wheel comes from at the beginning of the show. And the other was Santa Barbara 78. And I know that there's I haven't listened to that in a while, but that's a killer show. I know there's a Dire Wolf on there, but there's a Looks Like Rain. And so that's the only 2 tapes I had for at least a year, until I really started getting going. And so I listened to that a lot, and that was one of my favorites. I remember actually my first paying gig. I was a concert committee chairman up there at my college. And I actually did a Jerry show, 1981, the night after Thanksgiving, 11/1/81, I believe. Wonderful show. Great time. Got to meet Jerry. Oh, I should tell you about that. So it wasn't much of an interaction. I didn't know till later what was going on, but he basically locked himself in his room, him and John Kahn, and they didn't come out. In fact, he had a chef that came along with a 20-foot truck, and I had to have people unloaded. He set up a whole kitchen. Then I had a runner that went to every fast food place in town. Anything you could imagine, burgers, pizza, Chinese, wings, anything you could imagine, bought hundreds of dollars worth of this stuff, and plus cooked up these gourmet meals. And it was all ready there. So whatever you wanted, basically it was there. And Jerry never came out of his room. John Kahn never. The crew, in the end, it all went to my crew. But yeah, we know today, what was going on a little better. But at the time, anyway, so my interaction, I got to talk to him a little bit. But the real crux of the conversation, we were in the gymnasium there, and he was one of the gym classrooms, and there was fluorescent lighting. And he was not into the fluorescent lighting. Like, man, can you get some incandescent bulbs? So I had to send some people out and get some lamps from their homes and stuff, and turn the fluorescents off and get him some nice lighting. But yeah, I did get to hang out with him a bit, and that was a real treat. And really, what I was talking about. When I was concert committee chairman, I had booked somebody to play out in the quad, and they didn't show up. They canceled the last minute. And so I hired myself. Had to clear it with, student oversight, whatever. But anyways, they saw the situation and felt that was fine. So it was my first paying gig. I paid myself very well. And I played this song. I played Looks Like Rain. And I just am thinking today, as I was sort of brushing up on it, I probably felt more confident back then playing this song than I do today. So I don't know what that's about. I think a lot of it is the saying, the more you learn, the less you know. I really think that has a lot to do with it. I don't want to think that it's really I'm just starting to lose it in my old age. Can't remember things as well. And back then I was just sharp, right on it. I could take anything on. Maybe it's a little both. But yeah, here's a little bit of the first paying gig I ever did.
Awoke today, felt your side of bed, the covers were still warm where you've been laying. But you were gone. Was filled with dread that you might not be asleep here again. But it's alright, 'cause I love you, and that's not gonna change. Run me round, make me hurt again and again. And I'll
still sing you love songs written in the letters of your name. And I brave the storm to come, 'cause it surely looks like rain. Did you ever awaken to the sound of street cats making love? And guess from their cries you were listening to a fight. Well, you know it's just the last thing they're thinking of. You know they're only trying to make it through the night. I only wanna hold you. I don't wanna tie you down. Or fence you in the lines I might have drawn. It's just that I got used to having you around. My landscape would be empty if you were gone. But it's alright, 'cause I love you, and that's not gonna change. Run me round, make me hurt again and again. But I'll still sing you love songs written in the letters of your name. Now brave the storm to come, 'cause it surely looks like rain. Now brave the storm to come, it surely looks like rain. It surely looks like rain. I wish those clouds would just blow away. Wish those clouds would just blow away. It looks like rain, it feels like rain. And here comes the rain. It looks like rain, it feels like rain. Oh. Here comes the rain. It looks like rain, it feels like rain. Oh, no. Here comes the rain. It looks like rain, feels like rain. Here comes the rain. Looks like rain, feels like rain. Here comes the rain, here comes the rain. Mosquitoes on the river, fish are rising up like birds. It's been hot for 7 weeks now, too hot to even speak now. Did you hear what I just heard? It might have been a fiddle, or it could have been the wind. But there seems to be a beat now, I can feel it in my feet. Listen, here it comes again. There's a band down on the highway, they're high-stepping into town. It's a rainbow full of sound. It's fireworks, calliopes and clowns, and everybody's dancing. Children, come on, children, come on, clap your hands. The sun went down in honey, and the moon came up in wine. The stars were spinning dizzy, but the band kept us so busy we forgot about the time. That band beyond description, like Jehovah's favorite choir. People joining hand in hand while the music played the band. Lord, they're setting us on fire. Crazy rooster crowing midnight, balls of lightning roll along. Old men sing about their dreams, women laughing, children scream, and the moving on. Keep on dancing through the daylight. Greet the morning ever song. No one noticed, but the band's all packed and gone. Was it ever, will they ever hear it all? And they keep on dancing. Come on, children, come on, children, come on, clap your hands. Well, the cool breeze came on Tuesday, and the corn's a bumper crop, and the fields are full of dancing, full of singing and romancing, but the music never stopped. Music never stopped. Keep on dancing, everybody. And boy, these shows are actually getting to be an hour these days. What is it actually is a Grateful News hour without news. But thanks for being here as always. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday night. I'll be back tomorrow night. Hopefully, right? And don't forget, t-shirts. Why is that not the proper size? Come on. Don't forget, order your t-shirts. This really is the last chance. And again, thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Yeah, everybody, try to be nice to everybody else, okay?